We're just children. We're just children. One, two, three, you put your eyes on me. 5, 5, 6, and my feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 4, 5, 6, that I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. 10, kiss me in the rain. Children, we're just children. Children, we're just children. Play with me, I'll play with you. I just want us to be true. Tell me that you love me too. Or just give me a clue. Give me a clue. We're just children. We're just children. Children, children. One, two, three, you put your eyes on me. 5, 5, 6, and my feelings are mixed. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the signs. 10, kiss me in the rain. 1, 2, 3, you're too blind to see. 5, 5, 6, that I'm taking the risk. 7, 8, 9, I just follow the line. 10, kiss me in the rain. Children, we're just children. Children. just children.
Hello everybody, we are live at Tier 1 SLR. It's myself, Ocean Chief, back on the comms for this one, and joining me is my championship rival in Tier 4, Eversnacks. How are you doing, Eversnacks?
Hello everybody. Doing a bit sick, but doing okay. Very excited to commentate here in Imola today, and it seems like it's pouring down.
Yep, looks like a full wet qualifying session. Might dry out at the end, but we don't know about the race. Could be a dry race. Yeah, we had a... Did we have some rain in... No, we didn't. Actually, it was completely dry in Tier 4. But I did do some running in the wet here. It is interesting, especially the Ravassa section. But we see cars going out here. We've got 13 drivers on the grid today, and let's see who's first out. I see a Red Bull out front there. It could be some idiot. I believe it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly, and yeah, I've already seen him getting some wheel spins, so I'm assuming that some of these drivers didn't do any practice in the wet, so they're going to be caught out by these conditions for sure. And it's already a hard track to drive in the dry. Can't imagine it being much easier in the wet. So we'll probably see some of these drivers struggle a bit at the start of the session.
Oh yeah, and you see some, just as you say that, on cue, some idiot loses the back ender for the slow chicane in Sector 3. But he is obviously just on his outlap here, just trying to get some heat into those tires, and you can just see the lack of grip as he goes for these final two corners, swings it onto the start-finish straight, and yeah, maximizing the track there by going to the left and swinging into the right, staying close to the pit wall and down to the first set of corners, which I did try to memorize the name of and I've forgotten now, so Eversnacks, if you know those.
Yeah, I for sure. They're Variante Tamburello. There we go.
Yeah, just say some Italian sounding, I'm sure everybody.
Yeah, I'll just say something in Italian. It's a wonderful, wonderful language. I love it.
It's a Mario.
I don't think any of the corners are called Mario, but here we see the.
That's a damn shame. That there should be at least one corner in every Italian track called Mario corner.
I am, however, seeing Justin take the fastest first sector, so Justin seems to be on a very fast lap. I'm expecting him to do pretty well this race. He's been pretty good all season.
Yeah, he's went from strength to strength. Copy I'm looking at, he's still in the pits, but yeah, worth mentioning, he's had a bit of bad luck. We've got 2S Vito joining us in Tier 1, I believe it's his debut performance in Tier 1. He won Tier 3. Oh, Justin losing the back end there, just through Ravassa, I believe that was. This slow chicane though that Justin's making his way through, it is very difficult in dry conditions. I can't even imagine what it'd be like in the wet. Also, you want to try and carry some speed through there, but it's such a technical set of corners. It can be quite hard, and you can invalidate quite easily there.
Yeah, and these curbs, of course, they get super slippery in the wet. They're hard to take sometimes in the dry. This year they're very hard to take sometimes, but in the wet they get even worse. And that's Justin in P1 with his first lap here. But we'll see what the other drivers can do about that.
Yeah, Kay Lawrence, he actually invalidated. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not, but we are starting to see these times coming in, and there's a few more guys about to make their way across the board. It's the winner of the last Tier 1 race, Hoodum, crossing the line. P3 for him, 26.8. Usually see this guy in Tier 2. Ooh, a Desi, yep.
Very good lap from him there.
Yeah.
And we also see Papa going across the finish line right now. Oh, he must have made a mistake somewhere, only 133. Yeah, so you know that I love my... Oh, and McEnder takes P1 there. 4/10 out of a daisy. You know that I love my statistics, and of course I've checked the statistics for this one as well. So out of all the full-time drivers, it seems that Hudim is on average the best qualifier. So maybe he can do something to get his first pole here today. He hasn't got many poles this season, but he's always very close to pole. So in the wet, maybe his skill comes out and he can take the pole position. Of course, the wet track takes a few different skills from a dry track, so wouldn't be a surprise to see somebody else up at the top.
Yeah, indeed. Some interesting stats here. We just call you Everstats.
Everstats.
Everstats a lot, yeah. And I'm not watching Ice One. I think he's in a in-lap here, but he is struggling a bit here in these wet conditions. Currently P8, and 5 drivers still to set a time, but we're seeing Copy now on an outlap. These guys starting to leave the garage, but we do have 9 times on the board so far.
Danny's just jumped up to 3rd position here as well, so pretty close so far up at the top. We have Emilia and McAnder and Danny all separated by only 2 tenths. Up there at Daisy as well, also almost within those 2 tenths. So yeah, really close up top. Should be very interesting for a few more laps to come. And of course in the wet, these drivers are going to stay out for a few laps. They're going to get used to the conditions, and they're just going to get even faster the longer the session progresses.
No sign of the rain abating at the minute, so I mean the track will dry out a little bit, you know, just with the cars on the track throwing the spray up in the air and getting rid of some of that moisture on the ground. But I see a yellow flag there. It doesn't seem to be much ado about nothing there. On board with Copy here, as he is making his way through Sector 3 onto his hot lap, so let's ride on board with him as he does that and see how he does.
Chief, I think we're still starting soon.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, damn it.
We're back, don't worry.
Alright, slight technical issues with the stream. We're back for you now. Welcome back to Imola. It's raining still, and we have a few times on the board already.
Yeah, I just realized I've got a hotkey set and I'm using the keyboard to do the camera, so that is not working out for me right now.
Oh.
Yeah, Danny P1, 25-1, so there is time in this lap here. It does seem to be drying out a little bit, and the rain does seem to be easing off just a little.
Yeah, and of course, yeah, and some of these drivers, they have, the lap times are definitely getting faster. But we did see some of these drivers staying in the pits for a very long time. We still have Tipsy Bob, Dragon, and Mepo. Well, we can't really count Dragon, he never qualifies. But Tipsy Bob and Mepo are still staying in the pits, so I'm assuming they know something about the weather here. They know that it's going to dry up, and they're gonna save their car. They're not gonna risk spinning, and they're gonna come out later. And the Daisy actually switching to the inters now, so it might be drying up a lot now.
Indeed, and Copy is making his way through Sector 3. This is going to be it's a valid lap, so let's see what he's got in the bag. It's 110 heading down into the final 2 corners here, and there is a yellow flag shown for Sector 1, but looks like a Ferrari. It must be Danny, I think, just pulling over for someone. But Copy on the start-finish straight, staying close to the pit wall. Across the line goes P6 with a 25.9 for his first effort. So McKender is the man to beat at the minute, 24.8, showing that the track is indeed improving here. He's done 3 laps on those wets. We're starting to see...
Daisy is the first driver now out on the inters.
Yeah, it looks alright as well. It doesn't look like he's sliding about too much for these chicanes here. Obviously on his outlap here, so I can't really gauge if he's up in his time or anything yet. But yeah, we're starting to see a few guys now putting on the inters. Got Bob there in the pits, Crystals, Lawrence, and a Desi on his outlap.
Yeah, so Daisy is struggling a slight bit on the acceleration, so you still need to be very careful there. I'm sure he knows that, and he's just testing the limits right now. But yeah, it seems like the inters should be pretty fast now, and we do see more drivers switching to the inters now, as you said. So we're definitely expecting it to dry up even more, and should be some fast times by the end of this session. Right now, Daisy is coming up to those last corners. I think you've got the name for those, but he's getting ready for his hot lap now, and should be interesting to see this first lap on the inters. So he goes along the main straight, keeps the car on the inside here to keep the distance as short as possible, taking that curb on the inside, and heading towards turn 1. Heavy braking zone here. Have to be careful about those curbs. Don't take too much, but do take some of those curbs if you want to have a fast lap there. Yep, go to the outside of the track. Going through here, another very fast chicane. You don't want to brake too much here. You don't want to hit the outside there. And ooh, Crystal's ahead of him. That must have cost him some concentration there for sure. Slight lock up into that corner. Almost a hairpin here. Some heavy acceleration out of here. Yeah, wonderfully short shifting, keeping the car steady, taking it up the hill and heading into this corner. Brake just a slight bit.
Ooh.
Accelerate out of here. Oh, yeah, struggling a bit there. Sliding a bit with that car. Pretty heavy braking zone down here as well. Very, very hard corner to take actually. You go downhill there while braking and then you accelerate while going up the hill. Through the chicane, I think he's gone purple in the middle sector. Taking a lot of that curb there. You really want to cut that curb. Going downhill now towards the last two corners. Getting ready to finish that lap up. Taking some of this curb here. Using all the track. Oh, locking up a bit because he went a bit on the grass there on the outside. Keeping the car steady though. Going towards the finish line now. And we'll see where he lands on those inters.
Ooh.
And it is the first place, yeah, 5/10 out of McInner, so inters seem to be the tires to be... the tires to be on right now, excuse me.
Yep, indeed. So we're going to see a lot of guys on inters now. Seeing that time flash up on the screen, they will be checking. Their engineers will be telling them, right, inters now, get in. Put those inters on, and the track is looking, I can see a bit of a dry line forming here. I don't see much rain in the air as well, so that we might see big massive improvements, and it might be all about timing, who gets onto the last run.
Yeah, and it's also definitely about taking risks here. These drivers, I think being in the wet is a lot about taking the risk. You can often go a lot quicker than you think, but if you just take a slight bit too much risk, then you're in the wall very quickly. But yeah, you can take a lot of risks and gain some time there if you just accelerate out of the corners a bit faster. And we do see a Daisy speeding up even more, so track is improving and T himself is getting used to the track as well.
There we go, Lawrence as well crosses the line, showing that there is massive improvements all the time here. 23.7, so 0.6 ahead of P2. Justin as well, 24.3 in P2 now. So really, I think this is all going to be about timing. Who can get that last run in? And Desi again, 23.6 reclaims the top spot here. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty mad final 5 minutes, I think, with most of the cars out on track. I think there's 5 people still in pit. Meepo, Dragon, I don't think Dragon has a thing about not qualifying, so I reckon he probably won't come out at all for this session. But Meepo, still in the pits there, still has wet selected, so not sure what his thinking is right now.
Yeah, Tipsy Bob as well, in the pits right now. Copy just headed into the pits. He was still on those wet tires, so he's gonna have only 1 or 2 attempts at a quick lap on the inter tires. But of course, if the track is drying up, then the last lap is gonna matter the most anyway.
Yeah, oh my god, Lawrence is about to make his way through the final 2 corners here. You can see a bit of rain still hanging in the air there, but yeah, I don't see much spray come up off these cars, so it's usually an indication it's getting a bit drier, and straight lines it across the start finish line, and he does indeed reclaim his top spot there, 23.3, so these times are coming down. In the dry conditions, you expect these guys to be doing 15s, maybe low 16s, so yeah, there's still a lot of improvement to be had in this track.
Daisy going into the pits. Daisy's might be grabbing some fresh tires for one last attempt at the end. Justin as well also headed into the pits. They both invalidated their laps, so they're just choosing to head into the pits. Probably grab some fresh tires and do one last pole attempt on fresh tires against some idiot here.
Oh, Danny crosses the line, 23 flat. So again, massive improvement found there from Danny with these inters. And yeah, he's just done one lap. Actually, I'm looking at his ERS, and yeah, I mean, on dry conditions, usually you can just about get away with 2 laps. You usually run out on the second lap as you approach the start finish line, but usually in the rain you don't have any difficulty, you know, harvesting that ARS. It's quite hard to get rid of it all, but you can see he is quite low actually. He's down to 56%, so that's another indication that his track just getting better and better for these drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. The track is definitely drying up, and it's not raining a lot. It's just some slight drizzle. I don't think it's changed much over the last few minutes, but the track is still drying up a slight bit because it's just raining less. There's less standing water. And we now see Tipsy Bob going onto a lap as well, so he's going to set a lap for his qualifying. Mepo has retired in the pits, so he's not going to be setting a lap, and Dragon also still in the pits, so he won't have the time to set a lap either.
Yeah,
Crystals takes P5.
Oh, nice. That's a good lap from Crystal. 24.7. Or, sorry, yeah, 24.7. Someone else jumped in there. Was that McKender? 23.2.
Yeah, McKender just took P2 there. 2/10 off pole, so he's also got a shot at this pole if he's... It's really all about timing. You want to be that last car to cross the line because you're going to have the best conditions out of everyone. Yeah. But Danny now improving by another 2/10.
Papa as well crossing the line. I think he's on an out lap there, so he's just starting a hot lap. P10 currently, a lot of time to be found there. Vito seems to be struggling out there, 48.6 on those enders. We know he can do much better than that, but maybe he's, like you say, these guys not practicing the wet conditions. Generally, drivers don't practice the wet conditions unless they're try-harding to the extreme.
Yeah, I think on this track we've seen a lot of invalidations even in the dry, so maybe in the wet that some drivers struggle even more with the invalidations. I think Vito has invalidated one of his laps so far, so I'm sure we'll see some more for him.
Ooh,
but
Lawrence.
McKender now with Lawrence taking that pole for now, but McKender is on 2 purple sectors right now, so he's ready to take that first place as well.
Yeah, hooks it up nicely on the final corner there, just touching the curb. Helps you rotate the car around and staying close to the start finish pit wall. Cross the line, P3.
That's not enough though.
Oh,
very close at the top now.
Yeah, copy P4 there. Iceland somehow's got in P5 with a 23.6, so good lap from him. But yeah, these times are going to be coming in thick and fast here, so help me keep up to speed here. I'm an old man.
Yeah, Danny's just getting ready for his for his final lap now. Tipsy Bob just at a 149, so he's probably just warming up for one attempt here. Hoodim crossing the line as well for his last attempt. I think we're gonna see Lawrence cross the line first. He might have time for another lap actually, but he is setting purple sector, so he might improve his current pole time even more.
Yeah, I just saw him throw it through the chicane there with complete send mode for air from Lawrence, so should be a good lap. A bit of a lock up there into the penultimate corner, but it carries a lot of speed through, so should be okay. And again, down to the start finish line, what has he got in the tank here? It's a 122.2, so it does go fastest.
And he's got one more attempt as well. He crossed the finish line before the end of the session. A Daisy taking P2 there, so track is improving a lot right now. Crystal's gonna be the next to cross the finish line here.
Yep.
Crystal makes it up to P5. McKender now heading for that pole position, maybe? No, only P3 for him for now.
Icewind
I think
as well.
Copy just jumped up in position as well. Icewind crossing the line. Stays 8th for now. Justin just took P6 there. Danny staying in P4 for now, improving just a slight bit, so it's gonna be... I think it's gonna be between the Daisy and Lawrence here.
Tipsy Bob out to cross the line. He improves 25.1, puts him in P10 for now. Hoodim as well across the line. Didn't improve actually. So Hoodim's
Just
struggling.
taking that P10 from Tipsy. Vito improving a lot actually, but not quite enough to take it from... Oh, and the Daisy cuts a corner and he's invalidated. Yeah, he locked up very hard in Aqua Minerale there. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, so he's not gonna have another chance here. But Lawrence might still improve on his time. It might still be an even more insane time here. He's already 3/10 up on everybody else. Can it be even more?
Yeah, using all the track there on the penultimate corner exit and hitting the cone out of the way. Yep, 122 flat.
He does improve.
Nice.
Another 2/10. Alright, so yeah, he's now 5/10 out of everybody else. With a Daisy invalidating that last lap. Vito seems to... Okay, no, Vito has now retired from the session. And that's all of the qualifying. Very exciting session here.
There you go. And Wimpy in chat saying intro still play. Yeah, we've had a few technical issues there, but we're working through them. Mossy Gaming said rainy qualifying sucks. I agree with you, but rain in the race is even worse. So let's hope for a dry race. But looking good up front here, we've got the McKender, who's the championship leader, I believe, at the minute, in P2, and a Desi P3, with Lawrence, aka some idiot, in P1. Actually, sorry, Adesi P2 and Mckender P3. Danny Coe with a nice qualifying there, P4. And Copy as well, up in the top 5. Justin makes it a P6. Crystal P7, good effort from him. Icewind P8. Vito P9. And Papa P10. So, yeah. Of course, we had those two guys at the back. Meepo and Dragon did not set times, so might see them making their way through the field during the race. But yes,
he also missed his chance to do a lap on the inters, so he might have invalidated his lap on the inters there. We do have the top 4 of the championship in P3, 4, 5, 6, so they're going to be fighting for points pretty hard, I'd expect. So with Danny, Justin, and Copy, all 3 of them chasing Mckender. But Mckender, of course, in P3, he's in the best position out of all of them. If he can make something happen at the start, maybe he can get away from the others.
yeah, and like I say, we don't know if it's a wet session here for the race or not. We will find out in 2 seconds as the session is loading in and the drivers are picking their setup. Looks dry. It looks a bit cloudy. Now there might be a threat of rain, but the start of the race anyway looks like it's going to be a dry one, so that is good for us. I prefer a dry race for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's going to be interesting to watch these drivers at the start, because now they're used to the wet conditions. They're now going to have to change over back to the dry conditions, so now they can push their cars a lot more. We'll have to see, who knows how much risk they can take.
Yeah, it's hard to pick out a winner for this one. I mean, some idiot. It's hard to bet against that guy. He's such, high level. He could well run away with this one, but you got like say Adesi in the mix, and Mckender obviously going to keep him on his toes. Keep him on his toes.
Yeah, absolutely, and we haven't seen their pace in dry yet. They might be in a completely different order. Not expecting it, but it's still possible. We could see something completely different play out here in the race now. But yeah, Daisy and McKenna definitely, they're going to be looking to make a move at the race start, because they know somebody is very fast. They know they have to get past them pretty quickly if they want to. Either that or hang in the DRS window and just try it on the 3rd lap. But yeah, it's going to be...
And it's an interesting starting grid here, because P1 actually is... I didn't get pole in tier 4. I think it was you who was pole, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, at the very I realized this. I was practicing for it and I got pole position, and you start at the far left of the track, right at the turn of the, it's like a kink. It's not quite a full-on turn, but it means that whenever you start, you immediately have to think about turning right, which is obviously not ideal whenever you're trying to get the best acceleration. So we'll keep an eye on that. So P1 might be slightly disadvantaged with that setup.
I think I did just see the tire strategy for a second. I think it recommended a 1-stop, either soft hard or medium hard. I can confirm that. That's probably the best strategy to go for. But Copy and Tipsy Bob might be looking to make a soft medium possible. I mean, we've seen both strategies happen before, but yeah, many of these drivers on the mediums, they're going to be going for that. Well, maybe somebody's going to be going for the medium soft as well. These drivers are going to be pretty good at tire management, because, they're the best of the best in SLR, so we could expect them to make the tires last quite long. But yeah, here, if you look at this, if you would just want to go on board with some idiot real quick, you can see he's pointed right at the edge of the track. Yeah. So Poe might not even be the best starting position here. 2nd place has a very good chance to make a run here for that leading position.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks to the tier 4 race, Cybersnacks.
Yeah. I lost 2 positions there because I started from pole. But fun. Yeah, let's see what happens in this race. We're ready to go. We've got 2 lights, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we are off. Looks like a pretty good start from a Daisy there. Yeah, he's getting away pretty well. Mckender as well, really good start from him, and Danny behind them trying to make moves already. Copy going around the outside, it seems. A Daisy now dropping back a bit. Mckender trying to make a move here. A Daisy on the outside. Danny up into P3, so very good start from him. Justin seems to be holding everybody back a bit. No, I think it's Copy holding everybody up. But yeah, there's already some gaps forming. Copy really liking those soft tires, I think. But yeah, Danny with a very good start there. I think Justin's... no, Copy is trying to make some moves on Justin there. Those softs really work well at the race start. He knows he can push the car right now. Danny sticking to the back of McKender, just waiting. Oh, bit of a wheel spin there from a Daisy, sliding the car around a bit. Justin has to back out a bit, and Copy's trying to take that chance there, trying to take the inside. Yeah, and Justin has to cut the corner.
Oh, and they're still side by side here. It's Copy and I believe it's Justin, yeah, and Copy just sends it in there, and now Icewind also taking the chance there. He saw that Justin is struggling through that corner, and now Icewind's passed as well, so Icewind up at P6 now. And Vito behind them also looking to make a move. They're all seeing him struggle a bit there. Just one little mistake and suddenly everybody's going past. Oh, Vito making a mistake, had to run wide, went into the gravel, actually lost position from that. Crystal's up to P8 then.
Yeah, so Icewind's just eating him up right away. Danny trying to make a move here on McKendra almost. He's getting very close to the back of him.
I have a spinner at the back as well. Eversnax' Meepo is P14. He's now 10 seconds behind this pack. So not going well for him early days.
Still is making a move here on Justin. Yeah, he was looking towards the inside. He decided not to make a move. Almost spinning here, but I think he knows this track very well. Yeah, Crystal has been practicing Imola a lot. Because it's pretty much his home track here. So he's really hoping to have a good showing today. Meepo, like you said, just spinning a bit there. I think he's not quite used to driving this track without assists, so that could be playing into it for sure.
So a pretty good start for these guys. No one really losing it. I've seen a move at the back though. Is it Dragon and Bob? Oh, they're running very tight for the chicane here. Bob P12 currently, but yeah, these guys seem to be struggling. Dragon, I think he was trying to make his way past Bob, but he hasn't been able to get that move in the bag.
We've got Danny and McKender in P2 and 3. The two championship leaders, they're really fighting for position here. Danny really trying to make that move. Make that move on McKender. He's getting closer and closer again. I think he's just waiting for the DRS to eat up McKender. It should be pretty easy once he has the DRS.
Yeah,
and we're seeing some.
Yeah, I was about to say that every time a bit of fighting in the mid pack there. I think Meebo has had another issue at the back of the field, and there is Alpha off. It's around. Bob. Yep, Bob is off.
Oh, and another one. Copy's around.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I think he's just been off track a bit.
Yeah, I just saw him on the gravel there. So both soft runners are out of this, or have fallen back at least anyway. So that is not good for them. They were hoping to stay in with this lead pack, and also while all that was kicking off, Justin, that racer picking up a time penalty, and it's something we mentioned just before the race. Probably is going to be a lot of time penalties coming in for this one. And look at the lead that Lawrence has. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he's already 2 seconds up the road, and Danny now almost ready to overtake McKenna with that DRS assistance. I was just gonna say, Mossy in chat was betting on Copy to win the race, but well, that didn't quite work out for him, I think. But now we have Danny started to make that move on McKenna. He's gaining extremely quickly. That DRS assistance is so strong on this track, and Danny just breezes past McKenna. No chance of defending that. But McKender probably doesn't want to waste his battery either, so he's just staying behind for now. Oh, and some moves at the back again. That's Dragon going past Papa, I think, and Copy pitting. Might be a wing change for him.
And Vito as well has had an issue for the first chicane. He's got passed by Hoodham, so yeah, there's a lot of action at the back of this pack here. And Copy putting on the hard, so that's going to be a hard one for him to swallow. He will be praying for a safety car here, but so far not much in the way of yellow flags or anything. So maybe there's not going to be a safety car in this race. We've yet to find out. I
want to say though, these hard tires, they last for a very long time. I've tried them out myself. They can pretty much go the whole race. So Copy is now good to go until the end of the race if he wants to. So if there's a safety car right now, he can just stay on those tires, just stay out. If he can get some good laps, then he's going to gain some positions back, I'm sure. Just from other people having trouble, or just, if he puts in good laps, he should be able to gain back some time on the pack.
Yeah, and Danny has made some inroads into this lead. Oh, and just as I said it, he bags the fastest lap of the race so far. But yeah, he's actually chipped into that lead of Lawrence. 1.8 now, so 4/10 he has gained on Lawrence. So this race isn't over just yet. Still plenty of laps left in this one, but yeah, as we know, Danny is a very fast driver, and I'm sure he's just getting up to speed with his track. these dry
He's
conditions.
now pulling. He's pulling McKender along with him as well. Because McKender's now gonna have the DRS assistance on the straight. We've already seen him. He was 8 tenths behind. He was only 3 tenths behind just a second ago. So yeah, McKender also just following Danny. Maybe they can launch an attack on somebody together.
Yeah, and Adesi as well, just hanging in there.
Yeah, exactly. So just this train starting to follow somebody now, trying to gain back as much time as possible. I did see Crystals making a pretty easy move on the start-finish straight on Justin, so he's up into P6 now. But Justin right behind him, he's been sticking to him for the entire... Oh, and Mepo spins again. Yeah, Justin sticking to Crystals for the entire lap, and now he's gonna have the DRS assistance again. But yeah, should be interesting here at the front now, because McKender's got the DRS and Danny doesn't. So McKender can gain some time back on Danny again, but he's not using his battery, he's just sticking behind him for now. So yeah, they're just all following some idiot for now.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Icewind here. He's used up all his ERS in an effort to catch up with these lead pack, the top 4 guys here. He's just outside of it. Vito 3-second time penalty. These are starting to come in thick and fast here, but yeah, Icewind's doing everything he can to get up onto that DRS. He knows it's crucial. He is within the 1 second gap now, so that should serve him well as long as he can hang in there. He can stay in with this front pack and hopefully hunt down RRK Lawrence.
Yeah, I think as long as those guys all have the DRS, they're gonna stick with each other, and they're also gonna be following Lawrence here as long as Danny can make inroads. Of course, if Danny isn't slow enough, if Danny isn't fast enough to follow him, then of course none of them are gonna be able to follow him because Danny's gonna be blocking their way for sure. We've got Crystals and Justin getting ready for another fight here on the main straight. They've just been swapping positions every lap for now. It looks like the same thing's gonna happen again. Oh, we're actually seeing the sun come out a bit, so maybe no rain this race.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be an easy move for Crystal here on the start-finish rate with DRS. Really have no chance of defending. Your best is letting the move happen and getting back in the slipstream. And maybe just harvesting that ERS and making an attack of your own in the subsequent laps.
A bit further back, we're also seeing the same move from Dragon on Vito. So Dragon not even using any battery, he's just breezing past with the DRS.
Icewind again, just hovering around that 1.1 mark. So he's outside of the DRS range, but he wants to get back within it. I think the detection point's just at the penultimate corner, or just before the penultimate corner. So he does have a bit of time to do it, but he doesn't have much ERS in the tank. Oh, there's a yellow flag.
I'm seeing a yellow flag. That's Mepo again. Yeah, he's been lapped now, so that's why he's in the middle of this pack here.
Yeah, he's just a safety car waiting to happen right now, isn't he? Really?
Might be, yeah. I think he's on the hard tires as well, so he's not going to be having a lot of grip now.
Yeah, Lawrence managing that gap. It's now 1.9 to P2, but crucially, Icewind is within the DRS range, and he's got onto the back of a Desi here, so he will be able to maybe harvest a bit of ERS. So he just freezes through the first chicane there.
I think that McKender might almost be ready to make a move on Danny though, because McKender has been just sticking to the back of Danny, saving up some battery, because Danny has been using his battery to defend here and to catch up to some idiot. So Danny might be on the back foot now because McKender is getting ready for an attack. Oh, and there's a 5-second penalty for Mepo, and he's retiring. Okay, that's fair.
Oh, Vito's out, something's happened. P10, Vito.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
he spun after the hairpin, yeah.
Yeah, just got on the power too early, or maybe touched the curb and it's thrown into the wall. I don't see a safety car yet, but we do have a yellow flag. Oh, it's gone now, so...
No safety car, yeah.
Good. So 12 drivers remain in this one. And again, Lawrence...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Papa going very wide there for the chicane. Probably picked up a warning for that. He does already have a penalty, but you know, not looking too good there. Back in P10.
We're seeing somebody join this fight here between Justin and Crystals now. We've got Hoodim right behind them now and in the DRS window, so should be spicing up a bit more now. Crystal's actually not getting past Justin this time because he made a bit of a mistake in the last two corners. Just went a bit too wide there. I think he caught some grass there. One thing I want to mention about this track, it's really hard to save up energy from what I've seen. It's really hard to get that battery back up. So yeah, that's really bad news for Danny right now, because he's gonna have some hungry drivers behind him in just a second. He's got McKender, Daisy, and Icewind all pushing him. So he really has to catch some idiot now. He's got to get within that DRS window just to keep himself safe, I think.
Yeah, he's under a lot of pressure right now, and he, yeah, like you say, he could be open to an attack from behind from McKender, who has been using that time behind Danny too. Ooh, a Crystal almost losing it for the chicane. Yeah. These guys are fighting hard. I mean, this track is such an enjoyable track to drive, but I personally find it hard to push. You know, when you're in a race, because you have so much to lose, and you know if you spin out, it's going to be either damage or at least a significant time loss. So yeah, you're constantly battling between pushing and trying to keep it safe and keep it on track.
McKender almost going for a move here. Ooh, they've almost touched there. That was close. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that was extremely close. McKender almost kissing the back of Danny there into turn 1.
Papa is gone off there just after the penalty or the final corner, yeah, and he's gone into the pits there because he's got no front wing. So I wonder if he's actually retired in the pits there, yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah, so these drivers not really hoping for that safety car. Copy's still staying in it. He's still hoping for that safety car to come at some point. But if all the drivers that lose their front wings just head into the pits and retire there, then that's not going to cause a safety car. Danny actually losing some time now to Lawrence as well. I just noticed.
Yeah, it could come under a lot of attack here on the start-finish rate. McKender only half a second behind as they go for the penultimate corner and onto the final corner, throwing the car onto the straight. Danny not getting the best of exits there, and I think McKender might attack him here. Danny is out of ERS as well. McKender has 50%, so is he going to be able to get past him before the start finish? I don't think he's going to be able to, in fact. Danny just placing his car in the right place there to defend the move. And Danny does seem to be struggling a little bit. And McKender will see that flashing red light to show that Danny is derating at this moment. It always is a welcome sight if you're the driver behind.
Yeah, so I think one thing about this track, we said before, it's really easy to make mistakes. It's especially easy to make mistakes when you're in a battle for a long time. So we've seen this with Crystals now. We've seen it with Danny. You start to struggle a bit if you keep fighting for too long. The tires get a bit warmer, and I think you lose some concentration over it. Oh, Crystal's getting wheel spin there again. So yeah, it's really easy to lose your concentration for just a moment and make a huge mistake. For now, they're able to catch their cars, but we'll see how that happens. How it looks if they just keep fighting now.
Oh, Dragon's out! I just saw him in the background there. He was just clattered the side of the wall there. Must have lost a wheel. And oh no, I got a safety car. There is a safety car.
Yeah, full safety car. So Copy is now going to be happy about that. And that's going to be probably everybody into the pits.
Yeah, I think so. And you know who this actually suits? Bob, who's on 10-lap-old softs, who he can switch to mediums. Lawrence going on to softs. That's an interesting one.
Oh, true stop. Okay.
Spicy.
A Daisy as well. So we're seeing some soft runners now. Oh yeah, very different strategies here. Very interesting. Are we seeing some position changes? I don't think we've seen any. No.
Everybody in the pits as suspected. Is Copy going to pit though? I wonder, is he maybe tempted to go on to mediums from here? I think it would be a good call from him.
I think he should be. Yeah, I think he can, especially with the safety car now, the tires are going to be lasting for a bit longer. I think he can make it on the mediums. Might be the right choice here. Tipsy Bob going for those mediums as well. I think that's the right choice now. And they might be able to beat some of those soft runners now, because they're going to be on a two-stop strategy, which isn't optimal on this track, especially if you're stuck in traffic. Because Crystals and Hoodim, they're on the softs now. They're going to have to fight Icewind to get past. Same thing for Daisy and Justin. They're going to be stuck behind other cars. They're not going to be able to take full advantage of those softs.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting with Lawrence P1 on those softs. We'll have to pit again, obviously going for another set of softs later in the race, but these hard runners are going to be able to go to the end. So really this is going to be what's better, hards with 0 pit stops or softs with a 1 further pit stop. I think the pit stop here, it does seem to be quite short. I reckon it's around about 20 seconds. So really that's what Lawrence is looking at. He wants to get a 20-second gap somehow.
And they might still be hoping for another safety car.
Yeah, that's true.
Can
Yeah.
always happen.
That is true, my man.
But yeah, Danny and McKender seem to be the ones with the upper hand for now, unless, of course, Lawrence can get very far away from them. He might be hoping for Daisy and Justin to fight a lot with McKender and Danny here, so that should lose them a lot of time if they start fighting here.
Yeah, softs are. I mean, the softs are good for. Oh, who's in the pits here? Oh, it's Lawrence. Is that? No, it's Danny actually. And a Desi. Danny and a Desi. Yeah, so
oh, going for the mediums.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting
That
strategy.
really shakes things up, doesn't it?
I'm not sure if that's the right choice for Danny. I get what a Daisy's doing. He's just getting those softs out of the way as quickly as he can. He's just taking that free pit stop. But Danny, I'm not sure if losing all those positions is worth it, because the Hart is a pretty good race tire on this track. Maybe he just hasn't tried it out yet, but at least in my experience, it's a pretty good tire to race on. But McKender and Iceman staying out on that hard tire, that should be very interesting for the strategy now.
Yeah, this really shakes things up. We're not even at the halfway point of this race, and I reckon the safety car will probably be in next lap, maybe this lap. If Copy's able to catch up in time. But
Because
yeah,
Danny and the Daisy, by the way, they're able to stay in front of Copy, so that's already one car of traffic cleared for now. Especially Danny's gonna want to get past these cars as quickly as possible. Especially he's gotta get past Tipsy at the race restart. Otherwise he's gonna lose some time there. And then the cars in front of him, Crystals and Tudum, they're on the softs, of course, so they should be a bit quicker at the race restart.
so 10 drivers remaining, meaning all these drivers will score points, but as you can see, it's quite a spread in terms of strategy. Race control says safety car is in this lap, so yeah, as suspected, Copy has caught up. We're gonna have a race on our hands in a few moments' time.
Yeah, and now it's some idiot giving the pace here now. He's going pretty slowly for now, just getting the height into those tires, and just trying to see how he can catch out McKender. McKender has to be very careful here to not step on the gas too quickly on those hards. And they're gone. Somebody already away, and Justin right behind McKender. Oh, McKender's been caught out a bit, I think, and Justin already side by side with him. Yeah, that's gonna be a pass, I think. McKender still defending it, using all of his battery to defend. Oh, very close between those two drivers. But McKender losing out on that position for now, just sticking behind. I don't think we saw any position changes behind that. Hudem almost managed. Oh!
Yeah, McKenna got a wheel in the dirt there. It almost cost him a position, but Icewind backs out of that before they go for the second chicane. And there's something happening at the back as well. Tipsy Blob's down to P10. Danico didn't get the best of starts on the safety car. Did go down to P10 himself, but is now recovered up to P9. And we've got X Crystals making a move on Icewind. X Crystals up to P4 now, so able to get that move done.
Yeah, Icewind clearly doesn't have the grip right now on those hards. Hudem's already looking towards his inside. He really wants to get back behind Crystal. They've been fighting all race.
Oh yeah, and Hudem's going to
really
go
and he is taking the outside here.
Oh, bit of a wheel bump there.
Into the chicane, they're banging wheels again, and Hudem just forcing his way past now. Daisy now right behind Icewind as well, because yeah, that contact has lost Icewind quite a lot of time there. And Daisy now taking the inside towards those last two corners. Oh, that's a move, alright.
Yeah, Icewind's getting mugged at the moment. I mean, he just has to keep his head in the game here, as these hards will come back into it. For now, just in that racer.
I'm talking about being mugged. Crystal's easily taking that position from McKender now, with that battery assistance and with the softs. Just breezing past McKender here. McKender no chance of defending for this.
Yeah, these soft guys are eager to get up the field and get these moves done early before the DRS kicks in. But yeah, these hard guys, they must not be feeling too good at the minute. Well, everybody seems to be swamping them, just on pace.
Yeah, it's especially looking good for Daisy now. He had a very good restart, and now on those medium tires, he's looking a lot better than Icewind behind him. So Daisy seems to be making the right choice here. He's just gonna stay close enough to McKendor, possibly make a move before the end of the race, because towards the end of the race, the hards might become the better tire. But yeah, Daisy really looking good now. Seems to have made the right strategy choice. And now they just have to stay close enough to the front runners.
Yeah, and there's two more drivers lining up behind Icewind here. They're on mediums. It's Copy and Danny Co. Copy up to P8, so has recovered quite nicely with that safety car. Oh, Danny getting a wheel in the dirt there, but yeah, it looks like Copy is lining up Icewind. How long can Icewind hold out here on these hards? As Lawrence setting the fast lap on those softs and got a 2-second lead up front.
Hoodham's the next one breezing past McKendor here, also on those soft tires. So McKendor's not going to be happy with his tire choice right now, but they're going to be those drivers are going to those tires are going to come back to him towards the end of the race. And of course, he doesn't have to pit again, unlike the soft runners. All the top 4 now on softs, they have to pit again for sure. So McKendor just has to stay within now, has to potentially get that DRS assistance from Hoodham. That would help him a lot to get away from the other drivers behind him.
Yeah, and I think Icewind's kind of found his rhythm at the minute, as Crystal getting a 3-second time penalty is P3 at the minute, so that's going to cost him big time, and especially as he has to pit as well. So, Icewind, the back end got very loose there for Ravazza on the exit. But as I was saying, Icewind looks like he's found a rhythm on these hards. He's probably got a bit of heat into these tires. It does take a few laps for that to happen, and they're starting to come to him, so he's able to hold off Copy, and he's within the DRS range of a Desi, so that's really saving him from being attacked from behind again. And the same goes for McKendor. He's just within DRS range of Hoodham up front. If he falls out of that range, he is going to come under attack from behind a Desi, and Hoodham gets past X Crystals. So that's for a position P3 for Hoodham, but onto the podium. Looking good for
so those two are now back. They're back to switching positions now. I'm pretty sure that Crystal's just going to take it back on the next lap again. They've been doing this all race. And they're on the same tire strategy as well, of course. Neither of them decided to go for one stop. So, yeah, should be interesting to keep watching those two guys, because, yeah, they've been doing this all race now. But yeah, like you said as well, Icewind at the bit further towards the back now in P7. Seems to be finding his rhythm now. He's back up to speed now. He's holding pace with a Daisy for now, and that's all he really needs. He needs to stay in that DRS train.
Yeah, he's just about managing it, but again, his ERS is quite low, and it is hard to recover here. So 9.4, he gets a bit of a bad exit from the chicane there, but still, yeah, he's going to get DRS this lap, so he can hold off Copy for one more lap at least. And Danico as well is almost pushing Copy through these corners, so he's eager to get it moved on. And Danny has a lot of ERS in the tank, so does Copy, but yeah, Danny just has that little bit more. And it looks like he is not going to go for the move. And again, yeah, like you say, P3 and P4 swapping positions once more. Are these guys kind of working together?
Taking the outside on Icewind. Oh, very close between those two guys. Icewind doing everything he can to defend, but it's not quite enough. Copy just taking that outside. And now Danny also trying to make a move. Looking towards the outside, looking towards the inside, not finding any way to get past, because Icewind's making his car as wide as possible.
Down the inside.
Diving towards... touching wheels a bit there. And Danny almost spinning there on the exit as well.
Yeah, Danny
but
really...
he doesn't make the move thick.
Yeah, he really relied on kind of Icewind just allowing that move to happen, because Icewind could have... Oh, and Danny gets a 3-second time penalty, so all this fighting is costing him, and he's got a 3-second penalty to add on to his race time at the end of the race. 3 drivers currently have penalties. I'm surprised, actually. I thought it would be a bit more, but we are just over the halfway point of this race, so I'm sure there's plenty more penalties to come in. And I tell you what, are these softs starting to drop off? Because look, McKendor's holding on to Hoodham here. You'd expect Hoodham and Crystal to run off down the road, but at this time, McKendor is quite easily hanging on to these two.
I do think that Crystal and Hoodham are losing quite some time from fighting all the time. I think they could be quicker if they just drove off into the distance. But yeah, the way it is currently, they're just allowing Mekender to stay within, which is great for Mekender. This is exactly what he needs. He needs to stick as closely as possible to the soft runners, because then when they pit, he's gonna be leading the race by a lot. And everybody else behind him as well. Mekender is gonna be happy about every single car that's in that DRS train.
Yeah, and one driver who's not part of that DRS train anymore is Icewind, who has fallen back 1.3, is low on ERS as well, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle for him to get back.
Oh, and there's a spin! Crystals! Crystals into the wall! Ah! Yeah, just taking Aqua Minerali just with a bit too much speed there and just spinning into the wall.
Yeah, RIP that front wing. He will have to pit. Will he be able to get to the end on softs? So he might go for mediums just to play it safe.
I think he can do softs.
Yeah, it should be okay.
We'll see what he does.
That will bring Bob up to P9. He has been struggling at the back a little bit on pace, and Adesi gets past Mekender for P4. So we're starting to see some
Mekender now. Yeah, I think Mekender lost the DRS because now he was too far away from Hudim after Crystal spun there. So yeah, that buffer between them, which allowed Mekender to get the DRS before, was now suddenly gone. So Mekender now behind the Daisy, and
yeah, Desi's setting the fastest Sector 1 time. It came up purple on my screen, so he's unleashed and just pumping in these sector times.
Yeah, and of course pushing to get out of that DRS window, well, but to get Mekender out of the DRS window and to get back into Hudim's DRS window as well.
Yeah, and it looks like he might do it.
I think he's managing, yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be doing it. He might, let's see if he uses a wee bit of ERS here just to give him a bit of a... Oh, he's actually out of it already, so Mekender using a little bit of ERS there just to stay within, so... And Crystal, another time penalty.
Yeah.
Yikes.
He did go for the softs, so he's just trying to go for as fast as possible. Just probably pushing for that fastest lap here. I think if he can't have the race win, then fastest lap is going to be the next best thing.
Yeah, this DRS train has got a lot smaller. We've only got 3 drivers really on a DRS, maybe 4 drivers.
I do want to mention one thing. Out in front, the gap between Lawrence and Justin is still 2.2 seconds. That's what it's been for a few laps now. So Justin doing wonderfully to just hang on to the back of some idiot here. Not a lot of change there. So yeah, Lawrence not really pulling away like he would have hoped to do.
Dragon in chat says he actually had a wheel disconnect issue, so that would explain his DNF. Whereas Larson was suggesting it might have been a skill issue. These soft runners, though, they still have pace in those tires because Adesi hasn't been able to get that gap down. He's obviously wanted to get within DRS range, but yeah, Hudim seems to be doing okay there on these 8-lap-old softs. Expect them to fall off anytime soon, and maybe they're going to be start thinking about pitting these soft runners for their final pit stop.
Mekender's now lost the DRS, so Copy is crowding him, and behind them Danny's using all of his batteries. Well, I think that might almost be a double move. Yeah, they're taking the inside and the outside. Oh my god, and they touch! Oh, and they're around. Copy and Mekender both spinning. Danny is the one who survives that move. Oh, that was just 3 into 1. That does not go.
Yeah, that
so
was...
Mekender and Copy losing a lot of time from that.
There might be words spoken after this, so we can't repeat on the broadcast, but maybe words spoken now in their VC. I'm sure they're not too happy about that, but Danny Co, whatever, regardless, P5, and Icewind up to P6 then from that incident.
And Crystal does take the fastest lap on those fresh softs as expected. So yeah, he's taking that fastest lap with him and running with it. But yeah, Danny now unleashed in P5 and chasing after Daisy again. Already within the DRS window pretty easily now. So he's going to be the next one to chase down the soft runners.
Yeah, Danny looking absolutely rapid here, and he's in a really good position. I mean, he does have a time penalty, but the top 3 still have to pit. And he's within. Oh, and there we go. The first of the top guys are pitting. It's Justin and Hoodem both pitting. Lap 23. Lawrence staying out on P1 there. So let's see where Justin comes out then.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're trying to get the undercut on somebody here. Justin was 2.4 seconds behind, I think. So
I think he's going to come out behind Bob, I think. Yeah. Yep, so he's got a lot of work to do. He's going to be on the the best tire to be on right now. They're going to be the fastest tires on track, but a lot of time to be made up here for Justin and Hoodem.
I'm currently just watching Danny sweep through all those Variante corners behind the Daisy. Variante, by the way, I assume is Italian for chicane, because that's what all the chicane corners are called. But yeah, just really following a Daisy here, staying very close to him and just getting ready to make that move on the DRS straight.
It's a Desi off. I see a Aston Martin.
Oh yeah,
Crystals.
that's Crystals. Yep, Crystal. Oh, and safety car, full safety car again.
Ooh.
Oh, Justin and Udom are gonna be kicking themselves.
Oh my word, this is perfect for Lawrence, who stayed out that one lap extra. It's almost like perfect because he was actually just going through sector 3. Safety car comes up and he's able to pit for these softs.
So he's seen Danny also into the pit, so
yeah,
Lawrence
probably
is
a
gonna
good call.
be keeping the lead.
That is probably a good call. And Icewind in the pits. We're going to see McKender in the pits. Obviously, yes, on those hard tires. Copy, is he going to pit? I think everybody's going to have to pit, aren't they? Really? It's going to be a, as we say, a soft final shootout with this late safety car. Justin, the racer, actually doesn't have to pit because he pitted the lap 4. Same goes for Hoodem, so they're going to make up a bunch of positions here. Justin up to P.
Oh, he's back to P2. Oh, never mind then. He's just going to be on slightly older tires at the end.
Yeah, just one lap older, so that's not going to really make that much of a difference because the safety car is going to be out for another lap, 2, maybe 3 at maximum.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Easily be able to get to the end in these softs.
Yeah, Hoodem, the one who really lost out there because he's now down to P5 back behind the Daisy and Danny. But everybody else just going for the softs.
And this late safety car, it always affects the drivers with the time penalties the most. All the cars going to be bunched up, so they're going to really... let me just have a look at those penalties actually. I'm assuming they're 3 seconds each, but maybe... let's see if we can find penalty. Yep, 3 seconds each for these guys, so not so bad, but yeah, not great when you know you have to get a 3 second gap to the guy behind you to keep your position. Jonathan Benella, who sounds very Italian, yes guys. And Larson as well, saying, damn, what a timing for Cody. I know you couldn't time that better. You could not time that better for Cody. The man of many names. Cody, Lawrence, some idiot.
We should just call him RR now. I think that's a wonderful name.
Yeah, I think that stands for Rapid Racer. I think that's the league he races in.
Well, he has been rapid today.
Yeah, I mean,
can't take that away from him.
He's pretty rapid every day. This guy, I mean, he's elite. I wouldn't be surprised if he runs away with this one today. No penalties. Might be worth checking to see if he has any warnings. I'm guessing no, but one driver who will be profiting off this will be Tipsy Bob. No penalties. He's P9. He's on fresh softs. Might be able to pick up a couple of positions here in the final stage of the race. I would love to see that incident though between Danny McKender and who was it? Adesi, was it, or that free wide?
Yeah, Danny Copy and McKender, I think.
Danny Copy and McKender, yeah. That was an interesting one, yeah. It was a bit ambitious, shall we say?
Yeah, I think Danny went for a bit of a late dive there, but he did have the speed into that corner, but maybe going 3 wide there isn't the smartest way to go. But I mean, he's the one who came out on top of it. I didn't see enough to put the blame on anyone, but it just seemed like it wasn't the best idea to go 3 wide there.
Just having a look at chat here. We've got Joel the Mole in chat. He's saying Cricket 22 is lagging. I have no life purpose anymore. How about you watch this race? Because it's a bit of a thriller right now. Tuned in at the right time.
And it's about to get even better because the safety car is in this lap.
Let's go.
So I think some idiot was also leading at the first safety car. So maybe he's already taken this practice to know what he has to do on the second restart as well. He managed to catch out McKenna on his hards the first time around, but maybe this time with Justin behind him on the softs, it won't be that easy.
Yeah,
and he's going again in the same corner. Yeah, out of the last corner, and Justin's right behind him. I think everybody... Oh! That was a very quick yellow flag, but I think everybody's just staying in line for now, just staying behind each other. No moves yet. Yeah, just form an orderly queue, looking very beautiful, but apart from that, nothing happening on track for now. Just gonna stay in that same order.
Yeah, Tipsy Bob getting a bit of a bad safety car restart. Dropping down a little bit, but yeah, everybody within DRS range already. We'll get DRS for another, I think it's the one after the next lap. So really ERS is all you got in terms of boost for now.
And when Justin's already out of the DRS window now, he must have made a slight mistake somewhere.
Just about to say that, 1.1 is the gap, so really this is what Lawrence wants to do, is build this gap up early so he doesn't have to worry about DRS.
Icewind taking on a penalty. Oh, that's gonna hurt him a lot. With that late safety car, those time penalties really hurt, and if you've got 6 seconds, you're gonna be dropping back behind everybody.
Yeah. And Lawrence using a lot of boost here to just to clear these guys behind, get out of that DRS range, which means Justin's going to be under a lot of attack. He's got 5 guys in his DRS. Won't have DRS this lap. It'll be next lap. We'll see that activated. And Lawrence.
I think McKenna P7. He's making a move on Icewind now.
Yeah,
so teammates here at AlphaTauri today. McKenna just trying to make that move around the inside. Yeah, it seems he's already got it done, and just Icewind tucking in behind, waiting for another day.
Yeah, so tense moments here as everybody's just kind of trying to manage the race here. 5 laps after this one left. DRS will be activated the lap after this one. Copy gets a 3-second time penalty in P8, so that's not great for him. These guys will be pushing hard, so I reckon there's going to be a few more penalties coming in, which could affect the race result at the end. Adesi, yes, just as I said, Adesi picks up a 3-second time penalty, so P2, P3 and P4 all carrying 3-second time penalties.
Suddenly it's really looking good for McKender again.
Yeah, and even Hoodham as well. Hoodham has not got a penalty right now, P5, so potentially could pick up P2 here if we finish as is. And there you go, DRS is enabled.
Yeah, we'll see it on the next lap then. But I think Danny using some battery, he was just seeing if he can make a move on a Daisy. Not quite yet, but I'm sure once the DRS comes up, we're going to be seeing some moves here out in front.
Tipsy Bob dropping back a little bit here, so struggling for pace at the back, but we'll pick up some points at least here. Lawrence though is just running away with it. He's used up all his ERS here, so he's happy enough just to blow his load. Excuse the term. 2.8 is the gap, so yeah, he's doing everything he needs to. He's just absolutely using all his ERS when he can. Just to
and of course he knows that everybody behind him is going to be fighting, so he knows that once he's out of the DRS window, which he easily is now, everybody else behind him is going to be fighting each other and losing a lot of time there, which means they won't get a chance to attack him.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Because
really, he's out of danger now.
Yeah, Hoodham and McKenna are really the only people he has to worry about, but with him being back in P5, P6, he has that buffer of P2 to P4 with his time penalties. To keep him safe, so yeah, looking pretty good here for K. Lawrence.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely. He can just pull away from the field here with everybody else behind him, of course, in this DRS train as well. I did just see Danny trying to make a move on the Daisy, but of course he can't because the Daisy also has a DRS. He just doesn't have the pace advantage on the straight. Oh, he's trying it around the outside of the hairpin. Catching a Daisy, sleeping there. Let's see on the exit. He's not quite fast enough, I think, but there's another try here. He's going towards the side by side. Oh, they're touching. That was that was risky.
Yeah, Desi had to go off track there just to keep that. I'm surprised there Danny didn't use a bit of ERS there just to give him a bit of overspeed on Desi, but getting that move done, he's up to P3, so next in his sights is just in that racer ahead.
Yeah, and that little tap there only brought Hoodim closer to them and McKenna as well, so those two are going to be pushing as hard as they can to stay within those 3 seconds of everybody.
Yeah, currently it's looking like Hoodim P2 and McKenna P3. If things finish as they are, with those time penalties taking effect, is Danny...
Yeah, I think it's gonna be all about how quickly Danny can pass Justin here and how much of a gap he can build up once he has passed him. Because Danny's looking very racy here. He's made that move on the Daisy. It was he saw the opportunity, he went for it. I think he's got to do the same if he sees any chance of getting past Justin.
Yeah, and he's been Justin under a lot of pressure here. So can Justin handle this pressure? Is he going to make a mistake, or is he going to be able to hold off Danny for another one? He is going to have a Danny with DRS on the next lap. That's going to be a tough one to defend, but let's see how that goes.
And also further back, everybody else is still in the DRS train as well. So Hoodim, McKenna, Icewind, and Copy all inside that DRS window. I was about to say that McKenna can just keep it slow a bit, just slow down a bit, just be careful with it to stay in that 3-second window. But of course he's also got cars behind him, which are also on first soft. So he can't really be careful here. He's got to push.
And Danny is lining up Justin for a move here, and I think Desi might even try his hand as well. Both of them are using all their ERS.
Oh, can it be another 3 wide? Oh, not quite. Okay, Danny's passed already.
Yeah, Desi as well past P3 for him, so Justin down to P4.
Yeah, so those two have to push right now. They have to get as far away from Hoodim and McKenna as they can. I think Danny has a pretty good chance of finishing ahead of McKenna at least, but Hoodim's definitely looking pretty good here for a podium finish for sure.
Oh, and who's that going side by side? Is Copy?
Oh, there's Copy. So Copy clawing his way back up again. Oh, he's just taking that line and he's stuck to it. So Copy now past Icewind.
Yeah, and that battle between the two of them has dropped him out of the DRS train. So yeah, it's P6 to P2 in this DRS train. As Copy, yeah, he's came alive here. He's just sending it for the chicane.
And now this might be the chance for a Daisy to take that P2 from Danny. He's very close to the back of him. He's made sure to stick to Danny throughout the lap. And he's going to have that overspeed with the DRS. He does also have more battery left, so it looks pretty good for a Daisy right now. And he is taking the outside line here. Let's see if it works out for him. Yeah, he's already passed before the break-in zone.
And I wonder if this fighting is going to cost him, you know, like you were saying about Crystals and the Hoodim. Swapping positions every lap is probably not going to be the best strat. As Danny again tries to go around the outside, he likes that move. He seems to, oh, and he almost loses the back end there on the exit. But he does like to make a move at that corner, I've noticed. Does seem to get very good exits from that second chicane. But didn't work out this time.
Yeah, going through Aqua Minerali one last time, you can't really make a move here. Oh, and he's struggling with the rear end as well. I don't think he's gonna have another chance now. Unless he gets a very good exit out of here, which he does. He's right on the back of the Daisy. He's using all of the battery he has.
Yeah, both of them have exactly the same amount of ERS in the tank, so...
Oh, and he's diving down the inside!
Yeah.
That was risky.
And just going up front here, you know, just to commemorate the race winner, Lawrence, he controls the whole race. Oh, Danny's into the wall! Oh my word! I don't know how that happened, but he's DNF'd.
Oh.
But he does get P5, so he does cross the line there. Not sure what exactly transpired there, but that...
Oh, Justin almost got him there at the end.
Yikes.
Yeah, so... Oh. That was a finish.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, he was swerving a bit. He went to the outside of the straight, which you don't usually do. But then he was trying to go back to the inside. I don't know if it was intentional, but yeah, he was just swerving really hard, and he just completely lost the rear end, just spun it around.
Yikes.
Across the finish line. It was looking very artistic, but maybe not the best way to get positions. Right, and that is our podium. So some idiot does finish in first place here pretty easily with a almost 5 seconds gap at the end, and then Hudem and Mikander finishing out that podium. Hudem gaining so many positions in the race. He's been fighting with crystals all race. He's been keeping it quiet, has not taken any penalties, and just jumped to that second place at the end there. So wonderful work from him.
Yeah,
then
strong contender for driver of the day, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. Yeah, he's been doing wonderful fights with Crystal. He's kept it super clean all race. I think we can give him the driver of the day for that one. But of course, you've also got to mention somebody just completely dominating that race, just keeping that first place almost for the full race. Taking fastest lap as well by quite some margin. So. Yeah, also very good work from him today.
Yeah, he had a bit of luck on his side, but I mean that doesn't take away from the fact that he just commanded the whole race pretty much, and that late safety car just played right into his hands. But look at that fastest lap as well. I mean, it's miles off anybody else, almost a second ahead of everybody else. So yeah, the guy's in a league of his own.
Yeah, absolutely no chance for anybody to challenge that pace. There were some chances almost on strategy, but yeah, with the second safety car, it didn't quite play out. Everybody just going for that sprint at the end on the soft tires. But yeah, still some very good fights there at the end.
Yeah, Tipsy Bob in the end picking up P9, Icewind P8 there, but yeah, Copy after that late, or sorry, that early incident. And even a second incident as well, gets himself up to P7, so not bad from him. Good recovery. And I think that means we head to the interviews. Oh, wrong button. Yep, interviews. So let's see if we can find anybody. Anybody
yeah, we've already got 2 drivers in there. We've got some idiot waiting for an interview, and we've got Fede as well. So who do we want to grab first?
Yeah, we'll bring in the race winner.
Alright, let's go.
A Mexico City fan, aka Summit, aka RRK Lawrence, aka Cody, aka race winner at Tier 1. How do you feel, man?
AKA how many more aliases do I have, Lordy?
I'm sure you have a lot more that I'm not aware of, but what a race from you today, man. I mean, obviously that late safety car played right into your hands, but even up until that point, it looked like a commanding kind of victory from you. You just seemed to do the right thing at the right time. How was it from your point of view?
I actually wanted that to go green, believe it or not. You're going to call me crazy? I actually wanted that to not have a safety car. I was going to take those tires to the end of the race.
Oh, okay.
I was literally tire saving after about 3 laps on those, just trying to get to... I was trying to average about 4% tire wear a lap. I was right on the money. I was going to be at 75% at the end of the race. I was hoping that would go green, believe it or not. And the safety car absolutely helped, because I knew the pace was strong. Actually, before I forget, I got to give a thanks to Vito, because he tossed me a setup that was a lot better than what I had before.
Yeah.
And I was using that and made a few adjustments from that, and it felt awesome. Balance was great. I mean, I was just able to do everything that I wanted to on how to drive around Emilia, because what I had before definitely hurt me over the curbs, for example, and Emilia's just eat curb everywhere. So thank you to Vito on that. But yeah, I mean, I was just really happy with the balance. Everything felt really good. Car felt really good. I was able to do a lot of what I wanted to. Had some things I was testing. I'm not sure if you noticed, I was perpetually out of VRS.
Yeah, did see that, yeah.
That was actually a thing I was testing, which is it's colloquially called the Yarno boost, where you go below 10%, you always stay below 10%, but you consistently use overtake across the entire lap. Because the trade-off is, yeah, you could stay above 10%, but the use of the overtake, that extra horsepower, even when it's below 10%, is more than not boosting at all. So if you just consistently use ERS, drain it every single straight, recover in the corners, and then use even the lesser amount of overtake that you do have, it would still be worth it more than having ERS. So that's
Okay.
what you might have seen.
Yeah, so I just assumed you were just trying to build that gap early, but yeah, that's an interesting.
And that helps too. And that helps too. Like just using the ERS while you have it, while you have clean air, while you have the open track in front of you, and like that really did work. The pace was strong. That strategy seemed to work really well. I'm gonna have to test that some more in future races, I think.
Yeah, and even in qualifying, you know, those wet conditions, you were pretty rapid there as well. I mean, how did you find those conditions for this race?
So I'm not sure if you went on board with me on the wet tires, but I went straight off at Aqua Minerale twice. Like I was really pushing it early on, but another thing I was testing was not using hot lap in the traction zones, especially like so ERS is actually fairly high for usage in the wet. It's around, you can usually do about 2 push laps back to back, and some tracks it's like 3 or 4, but Imola it's only 2.
Yeah.
So what I was doing on the third lap was running no overtake or no hot lap in some of the traction zones, and that worked really well.
Oh.
Like on my last 2 laps, just using no hot lap and say the attraction zone out of Aqua Minerale, out of Tosa, out of Villeneuve, out of every major attraction zone, out of the Ravazas. There was some really good grip that you could find by just not using hot lap, because just less power to the rear of the rear tires. You get a little bit cleaner traction. You might carry a little bit more exit speed, and then once you have the grip under you, you go to hot lap and you've got speed built, because the better traction.
Interesting, man. Interesting.
So another thing that I was testing, and that worked really well. And it's another thing I'm gonna have to try more of, because that really was effective, surprisingly effective.
I'm taking notes
It sounds.
here.
There you go. There you go. I know it sounds so technical, but everything in my mind was like, in my mind today was just try things. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. I mean, not everything that I tried worked, but a lot of things did, and that's good. That's good for the mental notebook that I have in my head. So I'm pretty happy with today. Everything I could ask for was accomplished.
Nice. Eversnaxy, anything you want to add or ask?
I gotta admit, I just launched into a coughing fit, but yeah, good race from you. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, man. Well, yeah, thanks again. It was a pleasure seeing you on track again, and I'm sure we'll see you again in Tier 1 in the coming weeks or months. But
I'll try.
Yep.
I'll try.
Always
Thank you for
pleasure.
Thanks for giving me a chance to drive. Appreciate it.
No worries. We'll speak to you soon. And we'll bring in our race winner, Fedavara. Oh, sorry, wait, you didn't win that race. Where did you come again?
P1, I think.
Plus
Just
0? P10?
Well, yeah, well, 1 plus 0 is 1 still.
No, I don't. Okay, smart arse. I meant P10.
So yeah, P1.
P10.
Yeah, plus 9 then.
You actually did. You did finish P10 though, so congrats on that, man. That's quite a feat. I mean,
yeah, it was.
If you can't get P1, P10 is always nice. Yeah, how did you find it out there? I mean, it looked like you were doing pretty well initially, but then had that incident. Just talk us through that.
Well, yeah, I was doing quite well. I was feeling confident, but with the lack of practice, like I wasn't good speaking about long term, because, well, it was just about tire degradation. Well, they weren't even so much better, but yeah, I was struggling a little bit with the traction, especially the Aqua Minerale, which I also crashed. And after, like I said, the fastest lap, which some idiot just took it away from me, which I'm really upset now, because fastest lap, everyone knows that the fastest lap is even more important than a win. But yeah, I just crashed later on the Tamburello, so yeah, that was my race actually.
And how did you find the qualifying conditions for the wet stuff?
Well, it was my first time without line with wet conditions, and to be honest, it wasn't even too bad. Like, I didn't feel too much bad as expected, but yeah, it was just about the traction, really, really oversteer the car in general. Just yeah, lack of traction, but yeah, just I've seen on chat that some media said without hot lap on every turn it was gonna be better,
Hmm.
but I obviously didn't do it. But I think I qualified P6 probably P7. I don't remember. But yeah, also the start was quite bad. I don't know why. Probably I didn't warm up the tires well, but I think I've lost like 2 positions. But yeah, the race was good because I was fighting with Justin and with Hudim, and also on the safety car I pitted for soft because I just said into myself like I'm gonna make like two pit stop because I wanted to overtake McAnder and Icewind, which they pitted for hearts, and it was going fine to be honest because me and Hudim just playing with DRS, to recover battery because it's very hard to recover in Imola. But yeah, just after I crashed.
Yeah, it was sad to see that, but yeah, it's a tough track, because it is so easy to spin out, and unfortunately, when
Yeah.
you did it was a DNF. But you did get P10, so there is a what do you call it? A
I know.
consolidation prize.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
But
That's it.
I was expecting better from you. It's like a home track for you. I was expecting that win,
Yeah.
but maybe next
Well,
time.
next season maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe yeah, maybe more practice and I'll be fine. But really, I didn't get the practice. Like the practice was just in tier 2. And yeah, next time is gonna be better. I'm sure I will win by 10. No, second, not, but minutes probably.
And what about the next
Even
track?
50.
Portimao, are you a fan of that track? I know you've raced there in the special event we had before, and you
Oh
did.
yeah, and I even won
Yeah,
there.
that's right. You won.
Uh, well, I was with the line, so I just need to get confidence without it. And well, it's not a bad track. Speak about maybe the biggest issue is gonna be about track limits, which is very easy to get them, especially on turn 1, because you try to carry as much speed as possible, but it's very very difficult to not get a warning. But I think it's gonna be a fun one. Maybe top 5, I don't know.
Top five. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, good race overall from you. I mean, I know you're kind of somewhat new to no assist league races. So to see you do so well out there, and you had your moments, is good to
Yeah.
see. I think last race I did in Tier 1, you came. I think you finished ahead of me, which I was a bit surprised about because I think you were struggling early in there. I think was it Abu Dhabi. You were struggling
Yeah, but
initially,
I
but
was. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you kind of got the hang of it after a while. So it is like every race you can see you're just making small improvements, and these spins or instants will decrease as your no line skill increases. But yeah, hats
Oh
off
yeah,
to you for.
because like the thing I'm noticing is that it's very important the practice without the line. Like lap after lap, you feel better.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I need practice before the race because probably the practice during the race is not the best thing to do. As after you enter like this like crashing on the Acqua Minerali.
Mm,
So yeah, I try to do better next time.
nice, nice.
But yeah,
Okay.
it's I think it's going well in general. Like I feel like also without too much practice, I could match Justin or Houdin, which they are fast drivers. So yeah, I think it's good. Next time I'll win, and everyone is gonna be happy.
That's the plan anyway, yeah. But it's really good to see all these new kind of no assist drivers come into Tier 1, try their hand. Hoodham, another one from Tier 2, and he's just been rapid in Tier 1, so hopefully he'll stick around and maybe see him contend for the title with yourself in future seasons. But as
Maybe.
always, yeah, you never know.
Well, also, I was listening to some idiot interview and I was like, how many things does he do during a race? He was like testing something about
Yeah.
ERS boosters. I was like, what?
He's like a scientist. He's very strategic. He tests everything out.
Uh,
Very analytical
yeah,
guy, and I guess that's why he won today because
yeah, that's true.
he's just so dialed into the game and understanding
And
every facet of it.
that's why I crashed.
Right, well, I'm going to move you out here. I got one more guy to interview, but thanks again for joining us in the commentator's booth, and we'll speak to you again
Hello,
soon.
Snacks as well.
Hello, Fede. Nice
Hello.
race from you. Was a
Yeah,
shame for the crash, but it was fun watching you race with Fudum there, just switching positions right and left. That was fun.
Yeah, it was also fun in my crash, wasn't it?
Well, you know, I did say after you crashed, I did say, well, fastest at least you can take fastest lap.
Yeah,
which
but
you did, but then it was stolen. But you know,
yeah,
you
that's
you tried.
well, yeah. Well, if you're gonna ban some idiot, I'm gonna get it, so I would be very happy. Do it, chief. Okay. But yeah, thanks for commentating as well.
No worries. We'll speak to you soon, okay, Federer? Thanks again.
Yep, see you guys.
Thanks. And last but very much not least is Icewind. Icewind had a bit of a tough time out there today. I mean, just talk us through your race, how you feel.
Yeah, pace wasn't really there once again, but you know, it is what it is. Like I felt I was just once again that usual 3, 4, 5 tenths too slow, but I think it would have been better if we didn't get those 2 safety cars, like both of them royally effed me over, like big time. I couldn't, like the first time I had to double stack, I lost the position to Justin, then the second time also I lost 2 positions for basically nothing, because those 2 guys basically got a free pit stop. So if there's like 2 guys who are super lucky every time with a safety car, it's Justin and Hoodham, I think. but I don't know. It was really frustrating, I think, this race, because I was just a tiny bit too slow, and then of course the 2 penalties didn't really help either. But yeah, I was doing my everything to try and help McKender there, but it was a little tricky to do really anything in the
Yeah,
tow and DRS train.
Were you in VC with McKender? Because there was an incident
Yeah.
with him, the free wide with Copy and Danny. Like, I mean, what were his thoughts on that at the time?
Well, he felt like he didn't really have anywhere to go because he was like between those guys, and Danny was on his inside, and then Copy like very slightly turned into his front. That's what it looked like to me, and I don't know. I can't really comment on it too much. I guess the FIA will take a look at that because it's been reported as far as I know. But it felt like he couldn't disappear either because he was like sandwiched between the 2 cars. But yeah, I think something for the FIA to take a look at.
Yeah, I mean, from the stream, from what I saw, it just looked like, they were playing a game of chicken, and unfortunately no one backed out, so Copy and McKender unfortunately paid the price there, but Danny and yourself actually profited off that. You were able to get up a couple of positions, but yeah, we were kind of interested.
And then there was a safety car, which again effed me over because I would have been in a pretty decent position there again, but then...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You were on the hard tires, and there was a lot of different strategies out there. Somebody had actually said he was going to stay out on those softs and not... We were assuming he would have to pit again, but he's actually going to try and take him to the end. So yeah, it would have been interesting to see how that all played out. With your hard tires, you wouldn't have to pit. Maybe it brings you back into the race, but yeah, late safety car, unfortunately, didn't get to see that transpire.
Yeah, I mean, you might remember we did a lot of testing at Imola, or you did anyway. But it was like 4% the lap to wear, and I think it would have been possible to go to the end on the softs there from some idiot or even myself, but I decided not to take the gamble, which yeah, it didn't really matter because we got another safety car, which, yeah, frustration really.
Yeah, I feel you. Any positives you feel you could take away from this one?
Uh, I don't know. Points, few points. I guess that's about it. But
Yeah.
just a little bit too slow. But that's kind of the trend for this season for me, that I can't quite challenge those guys. I'm that 3, 4, 5 tenths too slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I my only goal for the rest of the season is to try and do what I can to help Mackinder, of course, for the title fight. Within the realm of fair racing, of course. But yeah, I really tried today, but it was just really difficult to hold anybody up in the toe. So.
Indeed. Right. Well, appreciate you joining us in the commentators booth. I think we're going to wrap it up for now. Portimao next week. I mean, are you looking forward to that one, or is that it's another new track? So some drivers a bit wary of that one. But how are you feeling about it yourself?
I think it's a lot of fun to drive. I think track limits are going to be, if you know me, they're going to be a challenge. It's very, very hard on that track. And also turn 8, you got to learn to take it right so you don't spin there. Not really pace-wise. I don't think I'm gonna be there on that track, but we'll see, I guess.
Indeed, we will see. And Eversnacks, anything you want to add there before we wrap this up?
Just it was nice seeing you keeping it consistent, keeping it clean for the whole race. You know,
I didn't
if
spin
the
at
pace
least.
isn't, yeah, exactly. If the pace isn't always there, then that's all you need to do. Just keep it on track. Hope that there's no safety car next time, and take those points home.
Yep. And P8, I think, to be fair, is about where as bad as I make it sound. It's just frustrating, but yeah, It is what it is.
Indeed, it is what it is. Right, well, thanks anyway for joining us in the commentators booth before we get into the interviews channel. But yeah, appreciate that. Eversnacks, that's us. Tier 1. I haven't commented in a long time, so hopefully that didn't sound too boring or too rough. I think we got there in the end. Before we go, I do want to ask if you have any tips for the drivers for next week. You're racing that Tier 4 race, aren't you? I think Portimao, is it?
Are you trying to scout for tips from me?
I
now,
need
so
all
you
the
can
help
beat me?
I can get, okay, man? That track is like my worst nightmare. It's like, try it. I implore you to try it in cockpit view, right? We turn off the line. It's like, it's always
so much
elevation.
elevation change.
It's so
Yeah.
nasty, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But it should be an interesting one. It's a new track for everybody. We did do the special event there, so some people do have a bit of experience of it, but it should be an interesting one. It's always good to go to a new track. So we have that to look forward to next week for all the tiers, and then it's the week after that's going to be Jeddah, and that's the final race of the season. Can you believe this season's lasted, like, I think overall it's been like 30 plus weeks? That
Yeah, it's
is a
been very
long
long.
time. So I'm gonna let slip a little thing that we're kind of talking about in the admin group. We're talking about doing much shorter seasons because we think it's more suited to this casual type of game. I don't think these long seasons really play out very well in terms of attendance and things. Like, it's quite a lengthy time to commit to something, every week. So yeah, that's something we're definitely considering going forward. So if anyone else has any ideas or things they'd like to see or think that might help the league in any way, do drop me a message. But that looks to be the way of things going forward. But yeah, we've got 2 races left this season. There's plenty to fight for in most of the tiers, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, Eversnacks and me are going to be battling it out in Portimao and Jeddah, so be sure to tune in for that one. We were friends for this broadcast, but we're going to go back to being mortal enemies now once we end this stream.
Absolutely.
So
I'm gonna punch him right as soon as we're off the air.
but yeah, it was a good stream overall, good race overall. I think had quite a lot of action there, and the safety car, as much as it messed up the strategies for some, it was good to see that final kind of stint shootout from all the guys. But some idiot once again KK Lawrence taking that win, and that wraps it up for now. So thanks everybody for watching, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more quality content as we plan some events here. Once this season's over, we'll have some special events and stuff, so be sure to tune in for that ones. Ladies and gentlemen, final time, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.